tiene que haber dentro de la inversión que se le haga a eso, el área y el costo de la casa. Porque
Obviamente.
es decir, o sea, vamos a suponer que mi casa era sencilla, vino con topes de fórmica. Yo quiero hacerle un upgrade, pero tal vez mármol no sea el upgrade que se le puede hacer. O sea, ¿hasta cuánto o cuál es el rango? Es decir, si la casa es muy económica o está un poco más viejita en construcción y está de fórmica, la quieres cambiar. O sea, hay muchos materiales
Sí, tienes
que puedes escoger. Hablo de mármol como para decir el material más costoso que se le puede poner como tope a una cocina.
Mira, depende.
¿Valdrá la pena ir hasta aquellos? ¿O cómo encuentra uno ese balance de hasta dónde llego para sacarle mayor provecho o verle la mayor retorno de inversión a eso?
Bueno, mira, depende de la ubicación donde vivas, depende de muchos factores. Realmente también depende del gusto que te quieras dar como dueño, depende del bolsillo en cuánto quieras gastar, pero al final es decisión del cliente, o sea, del propietario hacerlo o no. O sea, yo no te puedo decir, mira, gástate $6,000 en granito o en mármol o en cuarzo. Realmente eso lo vas a ver tú. Normalmente si tu casa es una casa sencilla que tiene, no va a ser necesario gastarte tanto porque realmente no tienes en dónde echar tanto granito o tanto cuarzo.
La cocina ¿Y sabes qué, María Alejandra? Pequeña. Yo pienso que ahí va un tema de gusto hacia la cocina también, ¿no? Hay gente que le encanta la cocina y tienen unas super cocinas que uno dice, wow, que ni siquiera tienen una buena cama, pero les encanta la cocina. Entonces, eso es el gusto, ¿no? Es como gusto hacia
pero de repente
hacia la
conocer
cocina.
Que si vas a gastar tanta cantidad de dinero, no lo vas a recuperar. O sea, si lo haces es porque...
Hagamos una matemática. Yo le metí $10,000 en remodelación a mi cocina.
No, $10,000 no es nada.
No es nada. Entonces, $50,000, pongámosle.
Depende del tamaño de la casa y depende. O sea, yo he tenido clientes que le han metido $80,000 en upgrade a una casa.
Wow.
Yo he tenido clientes que le han metido $5,000 en upgrade a una casa. O sea, y eso lo hacen en función de lo que uno se crea las necesidades. Sí. Vamos a decir, una necesidad es, yo quiero 3 cuartos, dos baños, 2 garajes. Lo demás sobra. Y hay otra gente que dice, no, yo quiero la cocina más, la más cara, o sea, la estufa más cara, el microondas más caro. Pero estas son decisiones que tomas. Normalmente cuando tú recuperas una inversión, luego de 7 años de haber comprado la propiedad.
Claro,
okay. Después de 7 años.
Entre 5 y 7 años.
O sea, que no vale la pena yo hacer una remodelación de este tipo para vender mi casa mejor.
En el corto plazo, depende. Por ejemplo, cuando uno va a poner una casa en venta, yo siempre les digo a mis clientes, hagan una inspección, pre-listing inspection, ¿ok? ¿Eso qué nos va a demostrar? Nos va a demostrar qué cosas hace falta arreglar, ¿ok? Si hace falta arreglar, por ejemplo, ¿cuáles son las 5 cosas importantes? Aire acondicionado, techo, plomería, electricidad, me falta una, y fundación.
Y la fundación.
Y la fundación. Si encontramos algo en esos 5 aspectos, vamos a arreglar.
Eso va a ser prioridad.
Porque ¿qué pasa? Cuando tú tienes esas cosas y sale en la inspección del comprador, el comprador te va a pedir más de lo que probablemente cueste. Por ejemplo, yo tuve una casa en venta, tenía piscina, la compró una gente y ellos pidieron $10,000 para poner una cerca alrededor de la piscina. Yo me reí. O sea, ni que la cerca viniera de oro. O sea, sí, claro. $10,000. O sea, la cerca en realidad costaba $1,500. Sí, pero estos dijeron, esta no va a averiguar nada. Yo pido $10,000 a ver si me los da y se cae. Entonces yo le dije, muchas gracias, pero mira, el costo de una piscina, de la cerca de una piscina es de tanto. Y aquí están los 3, o sea, y por supuesto les mando el porqué. Sí. ¿No? Aquí están las tres quotes que hice con tres constructores de piscina. No, con 3 constructores de piscina. Y me dice, son $1,500. Yo te puedo dar $1,500.
Ok.
Punto. Pero, por ejemplo, si tú ves que tu casa, o sea, cuando tú vendes tu casa, ponte en la situación del comprador.
Sí.
Si tú ves que hace falta pintura, píntala. O sea,
pero a veces uno no se da cuenta.
No,
además
uno no
que uno
quiere
dice,
darse cuenta.
esta pared roja con, no sé, con adornos, lo que sea del África,
Bueno.
mi viaje está hermosa. Y hello, para ti sola está hermosa.
Exacto.
Sí.
Hay colores de colores. Normalmente cuando tú pones una casa en venta, tú pides unos colores neutros.
Ajá.
Ok.
No necesariamente todo el mundo los cambia, pero eso es algo que el comprador puede asumir luego.
Claro,
o sea, no
claro,
estamos
claro.
hablando de cuestiones estructurales que son realmente importantes y que ahí es donde se te va el dinero.
Gil, si tenemos que irnos a comerciales, María Alejandra, ya regresamos. Y ustedes, por favor, sigan conectados, que ya regresamos.
Coming up next, Business Talk with Sherman. Only on Now Media. Television. Broadcasting live from Houston, the space capital of the world, this is Now Media TV. Television for business leaders.
Hi everyone, I'm Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties and welcome to Real Estate with Dena. Today I'm going to be talking to several guests in regards to real estate, and the show will continue to be all about real estate. Anything you can think of that is concerning real estate, we've got it on this show. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I went to Bel Air High School and U of H. Go Cougs. So I live and breathe Houston, know every nook and cranny of the city and absolutely love it. Houston is booming as a city. We're getting an influx of people moving here, which is awesome, although it has influenced traffic a little bit, but that's okay. We can live with it. Just having a lot of people here. Real estate in general is booming right now as well. Interest rates are pretty low still, so I mean they have hiked up a little bit from a year ago, but they are still pretty low. So that is making people want to get out there and buy homes like crazy. Plus people have been cooped up in their homes, so it also makes people want like, okay, I need a little more space, or now that you're at home, you know, two people are working at home. You know, when you just bought that house and it just had one office in it, now you need two offices, so you need to expand that home. Or you can't use your community pool where you're paying all those big HOA fees and you can't even use your community pool, so now you have to build one in your backyard so that you can enjoy that with your kids in this hot summer. And it's already so hot in Houston. I can't believe it's already 90 and 95 degrees. It's a little bit ridiculous this early. So we're already in August weather, it seems like to me. But any questions y'all have regarding real estate or any advice y'all have or anything y'all need, please reach out to us at nowmedia.com and let us know. We'll definitely have those guests on so that we can give you as much information as possible. You can watch us on 2110 Houston TV over the air, 2210 Atlanta TV over the air, 2710 Beaumont TV over the air, 102.9 FM Chicago Radio over the air, Lake Charles, Louisiana, 2010, will be coming June 2021. College Station, 2010 in October. Tyler, Texas, 1410 in December. Now Media Radio app available at the end of May 2021. Apple TV via Boxcast app. Roku TV, search Now Media to watch on demand. Roku TV via the Boxcast app. Amazon Prime, search for Now Media to watch on demand. YouTube Live TV, search Now Media TV to watch on demand. Wow, that is a lot of places you can watch us. So I don't think you'll have any problem finding us. Just search Now Media TV, and we'll be right back.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
You need the right technology partner to cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
Hi everyone, we're back, and my first guest today is Owen Ron with First United Bank. Welcome, Owen. Appreciate you coming today.
Well, it's an honor to be on your show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background first.
Sure. How much time do we have? I've been in the mortgage business since 1992. I've worked at a couple companies, and I had my own company for 20-some years, and since that, we sold that, and now I've been working for a couple banks, and I'm with First United Bank, been here a couple years. I enjoy the business. It's really transactional, and it's exciting to be a part of people's, purchase of a home. It's great to help people out into new homes and to help people understand transactions and guide them through the process, because it can be a confusing process, certainly. So.
Absolutely. It's definitely a lot,
Yep.
Especially with the first-time home buyers.
Oh.
How do you kind of benefit, and how do you help first-time home buyers in this process?
Sure. Yeah, good question. Well, there's a basic application form that everyone fills out in the mortgage world, consumers. So I help them understand what goes where. I answer. A lot of times they have initial questions, but a lot of times they don't know enough to have questions yet. So you have to kind of step them through the process. Tell me about your income. Tell me about your checking account. Tell me about, do you have a retirement account? Tell me about, how much rent do you pay? Any idea how your credit rating? All those kind of questions. Gives me a picture of, where they are in the process. Are they like ready to buy tomorrow, or are they, need some work on their credit or something like that? So, but I think that's the role of a loan officer, is to kind of ask those questions of the consumer and help them understand what it takes to qualify. And then then the information flows the other way, which is, okay, so now let me tell you, if you bought that $200,000 house and you put 5% down, here's what your payments are going to look like, and here's what your closing costs are going to look like, and here's what, here's the amount of the check that you'll have to write at closing. Are you comfortable with that? And sometimes they're like, ooh, that's too much, or, what if I can, what if I bought 250, or, whatever the numbers are. You kind of get them comfortable with the numbers, and usually the two most important numbers are what's my monthly payment and what's my check that I write at closing. So.
Okay. If someone needed a little help with their credit and things like that, I mean, if you
Sure.
run their credit and it seems like they're not quite ready, what is the process for that type of person?
So there's, we have tools within our credit system that I'll call it a what-if simulator. So we will be able to say, okay, what if you paid that $5,000 credit balance down to $1,000? What does that do to the score? So we can massage the system a little bit and say, okay, let's have a plan. Let's, you'll need this amount of money, and here are the 3 credit cards you need to adjust. Simple things like that, mortgage loan officers can do. If it's a darker picture or more complicated, or there's not an easy path to improving credit, then there are professionals out there that we would refer people to, and they can help people over time build credit. There's a number of ways to do that, but that kind of takes it out of my basket and into a credit expert's basket. So,
what tips do you have for potential buyers?
Great question. I think the number one tip I think of every realtor and every mortgage person should say is talk to a lender early. As soon as, that should be your first call to the realtor, the second call to a lender. And most realtors have, lenders that they work with. And the reason they work with them is because they're trusted and they respond. So By all means, a consumer should be talking to a lender, allow them to pull credit. I think there's kind of a general thought in the public that, oh, I don't want anybody to pull my credit because my credits will go down. But you got to know what the credit score is, and those impacts of hard credit pulls, if there's just a couple, they're not going to be very impactful. So.
Isn't there a specific time frame too, if they're all pulled within a certain time frame, that it doesn't really affect the credit if it's done multiple times?
I've heard 2 weeks, and I've heard 21 days. So somewhere in there, if
it maybe a couple points, but then it'll pop right back up because it's not really actually.
It's not abuse. They aren't applying for credit here and a credit card,
and they're not actually getting physical money. They're just applying for a loan. So.
Correct.
How are the rates doing these days? I know.
Well, you already mentioned it in the intro. Man, they're super low. It's crazy low. We've been in the upper 2s and lower 3s for most of the year. The mortgage world, we like bad economic news. That's good for interest rates, and we had a whole lot of bad economic news with COVID. So rates are still super low and are projected to remain low for the foreseeable future. So,
like, you think a year, 2 years? I mean, of course, we don't have a magic globe in front of us or anything that we can.
It's kind of a play with inflation. If we're worried about inflation, then rates kind of trickle up. If we're calm with inflation and we're, it's a longer escalation to get back to a full economy, that's good for interest rates. So. We kind of, every day is a new day, but I kind of think we're in at least for another year in the low 3s somewhere. So.
Well, that's exciting to hear as a real estate agent, obviously.
Yep.
What programs do you have that are popular with First United?
So we have a really great jumbo program, which is for loan amounts above $548,000, just in Texas and Oklahoma. But that's really well priced and easy underwriting and less down payment required than a lot of other lenders in the jumbo space. We do construction loans, so people that own the lot and they're going to have a builder work on it, or build a home, or someone that's going to buy a lot and construct on it, so we can help with those kind of things too, which is a little unusual for mortgage companies. But we do the same things a lot of lenders do, which is FHA and VA and conventional. So, do them all.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. Do you have anything else to add about what lending or anything?
No, if someone needs to reach me, just Google Owen Mortgage. There's not many Owens in the world. And I do have a website, which is just my name, owenron.com. Someone needs to reach out to me. But
your cell phone number?
713-417-5929.
One more time.
713-417-5929.
Awesome.
Good.
Thanks for coming.
Sure,
I appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We'll be right back.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today. This prestigious luxury home or investment property is located in West University Place, a small city within downtown Houston, located close to the Texas Medical Center and recognized as one of America's best places to live. West University is also one of the top 10 wealthiest and safest cities in the United States. Located on half an acre lot, you won't find this size land anywhere in West U. With mature oak trees gracing the beautifully luxurious home, this property has 9,200 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 8 baths, 2 master bedrooms and kitchens on both floors. In addition to the gold Gracie wallpapers, Waterford crystal chandeliers and pictures, grand double staircase upon entry, 2 master bedrooms and kitchens on each floor, and many, many more luxurious additions.
This gorgeous lazy river lagoon pool with rock waterfall are already in place for you to enjoy this lush and tropical brick-gated backyard resort style settings. This splendid property is perfect for long-term visitors or family members, and it's exceptional for entertaining distinguished elite type of guests. This is an excellent investment opportunity or the dream home for those who know about status and class. Call today, schedule your personal tour, because this home won't last.
What is so special about sleeping? It boosts your mental health. It's critical for your immune system, weight management, and fertility, amongst other important aspects of your health. Most people do not know the average person spends a third of their life on a mattress.
Then jumped over to Texas American Title as our marketing rep, and I also do escrow as well. So escrow officer and senior business development.
Oh wow!
And,
so you kind of wear multiple hats there. You do a lot of things.
I do, and I've been in it for, gosh, almost 10 years. Just title in general, Texas American Title. I've been there for 6.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So explain to people what title is exactly. I mean, people don't even know. They're just like, okay, and on a contract, it shows up, who pays for it, and that's all they're concerned about. What does title actually do?
Yeah, so I like to call title insurance, or just, title in general, the most fun and interesting thing in real estate. It's not, but it's so what title is title insurance helps the buyer know that they're buying a clean and clear title. We also deal with both buyers, sellers, both realtors, the listing and selling agent, the insurance companies and the mortgage companies, and the survey company and everybody else. So we kind of tie it all together. So as soon as we get a contract from you, the realtor, you send it in, we open title, and what that means is we're looking at the history of the property, making sure that there's no judgments, there's no liens, there's no unpaid child support, anything that can come back to the new buyer. We also are working with the lender, getting our fees together, getting everything intact. We also do the survey. We talk to the HOA company, because a lot of HOA companies, as you know, when you're buying a house, they usually require some upfront money. So we deal with all that stuff. And then we actually facilitate the closing. So we get everyone together once we get the clear to close from the borrower or the lender. We kind of figure all that out and go to closing, which is awesome. Sign the documents.
What are some of the craziest things that have happened to you? Like, tell one crazy story that's happened to you in title.
I've got about...
I'm sure you've got a lot.
37 crazy stories.
Okay. What's the most recent, most crazy story?
So the most recent crazy story, so I knew it was going to be bad at the beginning because I saw that the people that were closing had about 4 kids. And before COVID, we used to have candy bowls on our closing tables. So these kids, crazy hypers. So signing the docs with the parents, kids start like running around the closing table. Came over to his dad and puked on the closing documents, all over him. And we had, I think, 2 pages, and these were the buyers. We had 2 pages to go. And if you've never bought a house, closing, especially with the lender, the pack is about that thick. And
probably about
we had
100 plus documents that you're signing.
Yeah, for sure. And we had to start all over again. Reprint and start all over again.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
What changes have y'all made, in your office during COVID to kind of accommodate people? And because I know things have shifted a lot in the market, sure. And with COVID, it did make it. I mean, that was a pure example. That y'all don't have the candy anymore. So I guess that's a blessing that you don't have the candy anymore, so the kids can't do that. But kind of what shifts have you had to make to accommodate buyers and sellers? Yeah,
well, the COVID world, especially when no one really knew what was going on or what was happening, and we were just kind of figuring it out as we went, it changed a lot. not just taking out the waters from the fridge in the front, not just taking the candy bowls out, not just wrapping our pens in plastic. It changed everything. It changed the entire world of real estate, as you know. So we started closing people outside if it was a beautiful day, and in Houston, maybe that's 3 days out of the year that we can. So there was a lot of sweaty closings. But we also did some as well where the cars would just pull right up into our parking lot, and we would sign them right there out in the parking lot.
And their nice air-conditioned car.
Nice air-conditioned car, for sure. And we did keep our office open, so if people did want to come in and have that, regular closing that they're used to, we did that as well. But again, we required face masks. There were no bottles of water everywhere. We had everything. Every time we had a closing, we wiped down everything with Lysol. We cleaned it all up just to make it as safe as possible. We also did, especially me, I don't close a lot, but I would go out to people and close them. I know we had a closing that your clients didn't feel safe leaving their house, which is awesome. And so we drove out there and closed them in their own home, especially wearing masks and all that. So that was awesome. That was phenomenal that we could do that. I also did a closing on a police car because he was actually at work, the police officer was, so we closed it on his car and couldn't really go anywhere. But other than that, the state of Texas, one big change was for refinances, cash out refinances to be specific. If you're going to cash out refinance, you have to close at a title company in a title company closing room. But they changed that, where now you still have to close at a title company, but you can close in a title company parking lot, which saved a lot of stress and gray hairs. As you can see, I got quite a few after all this. But it also changed a little bit too, because we can close online, kind of like a DocuSign for sellers. So they don't even have to leave their house. We've had closings where people did it on their smartphone, which is awesome. And especially it's 2021. You would think all that kind of stuff would have happened sooner, but it didn't. But COVID kind of pushed that. So it's been able to change a lot of things. You can also, for your earnest money and option fee, there's a thing called Zochem, and you just take a picture of the check, and it goes directly into our bank account, which is phenomenal as well. So
that saves a lot of driving, a lot of time for the
does.
agents, for the assistants, for whoever's the one that's going to pick up, even the clients, just to get the checks and what have you. And they've also combined the checks now. We can do one check, at closing. So that's a nice feature.
It really is.
Do they still have to have cashier's checks for that, or can it be personal checks?
No, they can. I mean, it doesn't matter. They can have personal checks. They can have. They can wire it if they want, or cashiers. Either or.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So I know that you have multiple offices all over Houston. I know you're in the Heights office.
In the Heights.
You're Jesse in the Heights. So I know that you are in the Heights office. But where are some of your other offices that people can close at?
Yeah, so one cool thing about us is, we do have 14 other offices, and you can open up title. If, you like me, you can open it up in the Heights, and we can close you at any of those other offices. We have an office in Conroe all the way out to NASA. We have it from Sugar Land to Atascocita to the Woodlands. Really, you name it, it's there. Pearland. We have a brand new Cypress office, which is beautiful, and our Post Oak is our flagship, and it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's right downtown in Galleria.
Nice.
Yeah.
So y'all are really coming up, huh?
Moving on up in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice. I mean, I love your office in the Heights. It's a beautiful office as
appreciate
well.
it.
So
Yeah.
just, it's nice to be able to take advantage and be able to go to any location, open up title in the Heights office, and then close wherever from Cypress to Pearland or up north, wherever, including their own home, which I took advantage of with some elderly clients of mine that really weren't comfortable. It was early on in COVID, and they were elderly and didn't feel comfortable leaving their house. So Jesse was nice enough to come and close them at their home. So they do go above and beyond to make your clients happy, and we really appreciate that as agents. That's why we go back and why we have partners in different businesses, and you have to have multiple partners in everything that you do in real estate. So
you really do.
It's important to have those. So how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so like you said, on Instagram, it's at Jesse in the Heights, JESSE in the Heights. You can always email me as well, jsoto, SOTO, at texasamerican.com. or just give me a call, 832-318-2402. Come say what's up to me and have a cup of coffee at my office in the Heights.
What's the address?
2233 Yale.
Let's go ahead and give your cell phone and your email address one more time.
Oh, for sure. 832-318-2402. I've heard you can actually see it written on some bar walls as well. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is that kind of show, but you know.
or my email, jsoto@texasamerican.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, this is Amy Gerard, Realtor with the Jorgensen Group. Buying or selling a property is an important step that will impact your life and the life of your loved ones. Did you know that having an experienced realtor at your side ensures more money in your pocket when buying or selling a property? In fact, the National Association of Realtors found consumers who did real estate transactions without a realtor by their side left money on the table. When selling, I perform a thorough market analysis to arrive at a price and marketing plan tailored to your needs. We recommend and help coordinate renovations, include a staging consultation, high-end signage, and the sharpest professional photography. Our dedicated marketing department makes your property shine to bring you the best and highest offers quickly. For buyers, I am actively adding to my list of new construction and off-market properties. We are up to date on the market trends and the industry standards to advise you on a competitive offer to help you snag your dream home. If you want to buy or sell a property, call me for a no-pressure consultation. I have the right team and strong know-how to navigate your transaction with ease.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Having a spotless house is critical for your quality of living. Hi, this is Kevin Thury with WashPros.us. At WashPros, we are locally owned and operated, servicing Central Houston, Austin, and Dallas. We are fully insured. We offer annual, semi-annual, and quarterly cleanings. We recognize that needs change and Mother Nature keeps us on our toes. Just know we are happy to help. We use eco-friendly products and a purified water cleaning system for a spotless shine. We service HOAs, the property managers, investment firms, and you, the homeowner. If you're putting your house on the market or have an annual maintenance cleaning schedule, or you're interested in holiday lighting, we are your one-stop shop for all of your exterior cleaning and holiday lighting needs. Call me today for your free on-site quote and let WashPros.us be your clean escape.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
We are back, and we're going to go into the next step in the home buying process, which is getting homeowners insurance. I think it's really important to protect you and your asset, as well as, kind of understand what goes into protecting that. So I have Andrew Kresser here with me. Thank you for coming with State Farm. He has his own agency in the Heights area. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what got you into insurance.
Yeah, no, thanks. So I own a State Farm agency in the Heights area there. Been with State Farm about 5 years now. And, insurance is one of those things. Nobody likes to talk about it, I realize, but it's something I enjoy, and I enjoy helping other people, figure out, kind of like you said, how to protect their assets and those things that are important to them. So, we handle everything from auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, you name it. So we, have a full-blown holistic kind of approach to our agency. So,
what are a few things that homeowners should think about that are related to picking their insurance company?
Yeah, well, so I think things people generally think about when they're thinking about their homeowner's insurance is obviously protecting the asset itself, right? The dwelling, and of course protecting the things inside of it. But if you think about what insurance is for, it's to protect you and protect your assets. So, there's some other things that likely you should think about too as you're looking for a house, like, do you have a pool, right? What are the additional things that come with that? You got some added liability there, especially if you have young children, and you'll have other children over at your house, so the added liability exposure. Depending on where you're looking, maybe if you're closer to the coast, there might be an increased, wind risk and some different things like that. So location can have, a bit to do with that. And then, the property itself, again, you think about the main structure, but, some properties will have, a separate structure. Maybe you have a garage apartment, maybe you're going to be renting it out. So those are different, things you need to consider when you're thinking about how is my insurance going to relate to my property.
I know you've had a couple of stories you've told us in the past of things that have happened, like randomly with children playing on trampolines even. It doesn't even have to be a pool, you know, just if you have kids at all, you know.
That's right. Yep. There are certain things that are insurance agent's nightmare. I'm pretty sure we have all of them in my own backyard, so I'm a good steward of those things. But yeah, there's all sorts of different things you don't usually think about.
Yeah. What was that story? Remind me again. Like there was something that happened, someone in a backyard, you know, someone breaks their arm on your property.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, if someone is on your property that you allow to be on your property and they get hurt and there's some sort of negligence involved, then you're at risk.
And your homeowner's insurance protects that and kind of covers that.
Exactly.
I think what are the differences? I think when I'm talking to clients of mine, I tell them, be sure to shop it, you know, shop around, make sure like it's not just the best price that matters out there. Because what does that price get you? You know, and that's kind of what the concern is, right? When you go in and get homeowners insurance, you got to make sure that you're protected. What are some of those things that people should look out for?
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. I mean, I would tell you that you want somebody to look at your specific individual situation. So, you know, I would caution anybody, if somebody can give you a homeowner's quote in 10 minutes, that's probably a problem, right? They didn't get to know who you are or even anything about your property. So, you know, for us and my agency, it takes us a little bit of time to do that, you know. So we need to gather some information, understand the customer a little bit, understand the property and their individual situation. And like you said, you know, if there's other risks involved, you know, we need to make sure we have the right and appropriate protection for all those different things. You know, whatever that may be, it's different for every person individually.
What do home buyers need to think about with flood insurance when they're looking at a property?
Yeah, so flood insurance obviously is a pretty hot topic after 2017 in August. So it's something, you know, everybody asks about for the most part. And if somebody's moving to Houston, as you know, you work with a lot of relocation stuff, it's something that's, you know, top of everybody's mind. So, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is anywhere you buy in Houston, you're going to be in a flood zone. The question is, which flood zone is it? How risky is it? And what's the cost of flood insurance going to be? But you know, I always say, I mean, it's one of those things, even if you're looking in an area that is a more risky flood zone, the 100-year flood zone, for instance, you have to take an individual look at the property. So use an example of, let's say, Meyerland, right? It's kind of known and, you know, has a flood-prone area. Well, you're likely going to be required by your lender to get flood insurance for that reason. The risk of flooding is greater in that area. But you need to look at the individual property to determine what the cost is. So you might have a neighbor of the house you're going to buy, for instance, that might be paying $10,000, $12,000 for their flood insurance because they're on the original foundation and maybe it's a lower elevation. Maybe the house you're buying, maybe it's a newer build or they've built the foundation up. You might be paying $500 a year right next to the guy that's paying, you know, 20 times more. So you really need to look at it on its own, you know, and don't be scared away by that. You know, just like any insurance, flood insurance is based on risk.
I know in my neighborhood, particularly, it's street by street, you know, like one street floods, the street over doesn't flood, and the next street does, and it can be every other street, which is totally insane to me, but it really does happen that way, that it really just matters on the individual house, the street that it's on, the block it's on, the lot it's on. I mean, it goes down to each tiny little thing makes a big difference.
Yeah, talk to your neighbors too. You probably do this too as you're, you know, walking around with customers and viewing, but, you know, talk to the neighbors. What happens in a heavy rain event? You know, is there water in certain areas? You know, are there more drainage areas close by that could possibly clog? I mean, that's what will worry me. You know, that's why I have flood insurance at my house. I really, in my heart of hearts, don't think my house would flood, but if the drainage didn't work appropriately, we've got a bayou behind the house. That could be a problem.
I mean, we lived in our house during Harvey and during Memorial and Tax Day, all the floods that were out there lived in them. But, you know, we still protect our home just in case, because there's homes that hadn't flooded since the 70s that flooded during some of those floods. And maybe it wasn't even Harvey. Maybe it was Tax or Memorial Day. And, you know, the levees and all the different things that are happening. It's been kind of a little crazy, and there's freak accidents too that happen. So you just should always protect your home and make sure that you get flood insurance no matter where, because Houston in general, I think, is a flood zone. It doesn't really matter where you live. So just protect your home. I think it's really important. What are a few things that affect the home insurance premiums?
That's a good question. People ask that a lot, that want general idea. How much is it going to cost? Well, there's a lot of things that go into it, but some of the maybe these things are obvious and maybe they aren't, but a couple of the first things that come to mind for me are the age of the structure is something that's extremely important. And this might be obvious, but, you know, if a house is 30 years old, it probably has 30-year-old plumbing and 30-year-old, you know, electrical and all those things, and it's a much different risk than a new house would be, you know, that has brand new plumbing and electrical and things like that, less risk of something happening. You know, area of town can play a part too, right? I mean, I mentioned, you know, if you're buying closer to the coast and there's some wind risk and some different things like that, that could drive up the cost. And then, you know, there's some probably more obvious things like, you know, how much coverage do you need, you know?
What's the price of the house,
What's the
right?
price of it, right? And, you know, but those are some of the things. You know, there's some companies out there that, you know, are super concerned about the age of the roof. Maybe they won't insure it if the roof is, you know, a certain age. State Farm doesn't care because, you know, State Farm pays 100% value if it's 20 days old or 20 years old. It's all paid out the same ways. But there's some companies that ask that question and, you know, and won't write it if it's, you know, if it's of a certain age.
What if someone's fixing and flipping a house? Let's say it is a, you know, 30-year-old or 40-year-old home, but they've changed and remodeled and renovated things. How does insurance look at that?
Yeah, good. Well, good question. So every company's going to look at that differently, but one of the conversations we have, if it is an older house, is have there been any recent upgrades and updates to those main utility systems? So the HVAC, the electrical, plumbing. That's kind of the first question. And the second question is, can you prove it? You know, do you have any documentation related to that? But yeah, I mean, if you do those remodels and those things are up to date, then it could be rated like a new house. And we see that a lot too, you know, especially with, you know, fix and flip. Somebody maybe just put a lot of money into it and it does have those new systems. So we want to make sure they get the proper, you know, credit and rating for that too.
So I think this question probably comes up a lot too. What is the difference between a home warranty and home insurance?
This one does come up a lot. Yes, that's true. So some confusion here, but so home warranty I think is a great idea to have, and certainly a lot of, you know, realtors will kind of work that into the contract and have the seller, you know, buy that maybe for the first year. So a home warranty is going to cover your home systems if there's some sort of mechanical issue. And the home insurance would cover if there is damage resulting from that. So you give an example. So if your AC breaks, right, just because it's old or the stress on the system or something, that's something your home warranty would cover. Versus if you had a pipe that burst and caused damage in the house, any damage resulting from those things, that's what your homeowner's insurance would cover. So sometimes people think, well, I have one, I don't need the other, but they kind of work complementary of each other. Yeah. So both smart to have, but obviously in different ways.
Yeah, you need both, I would say, but more importantly, you need the homeowner's insurance because that's what covers your major stuff, anything affected in it. But why don't you go ahead and tell everyone and give them your information?
Yeah, so you can find us online at andrewgressersf.com is our website. Certainly reach us at the office number 281-822-8850. Happy to help you that way too.
Yeah, and please reach out to them if you need anything or have any questions regarding homeowners insurance. Great information. Even if you have currently homeowners insurance, it's always good to see what your coverage is and compare it. Because things are always changing. And I know the insurance world is changing a lot right now with COVID and everything else that's happened. So be sure to make sure that you are covered and protected and that your home is protected well. So give them your information one more time, Andrew.
Great. Andrew Gresser. It's andrewgressersf.com. You can reach us at the office at 281-822-8850.
Thank you so much for coming. We'll be right back.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Having a spotless house is critical for your quality of living. Hi, this is Kevin Thury with WashPros.us. At WashPros, we are locally owned and operated, servicing Central Houston, Austin, and Dallas. We are fully insured. We offer annual, semi-annual, and quarterly cleanings. We recognize that needs change and Mother Nature keeps us on our toes. Just know we are happy to help. We use eco-friendly products and a purified water cleaning system for a spotless shine. We service HOAs, the property managers, investment firms, and you, the homeowner. If you're putting your house on the market or have an annual maintenance cleaning schedule, or you are interested in holiday lighting, we are your one-stop shop for all of your exterior cleaning and holiday lighting needs. Call me today for your free on-site quote and let WashPros.us be your clean escape.
Hi everyone, hope you're enjoying the show. My next guest is Jennifer Solak with Solak Legal, and she does estate planning and wills for people. Yes. And just kind of wanted to bring her in to tie in everything we've been talking about today. And you know, it's a very important part to protect your home. Again, you know, with the homeowner's insurance, all that stuff's important, but for long term, you definitely need to protect your asset. So Jennifer, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, thanks, Dena. Yes, my name's Jennifer Solak, and I'm an estate planning and probate attorney. I work primarily in the Houston area, but I can serve clients throughout Texas and Louisiana. And it's so important to come see an estate planning attorney when you buy a home, because what people don't realize is once you're a homeowner, you now have an asset that will absolutely have to go through probate. And so you either need to plan to transfer that asset in the way you want to the people you want, or you need to plan to avoid the probate process if that's what you ultimately want. And you know, we can talk about all the different ways there are to do that.
What should homeowners be aware of?
All right. Well, so you know what the probate process is the process that the judge uses to find out who your relatives are and who needs to inherit your property if you didn't have a will. And so the way, like, let's say if you don't have a will, you'll have to go to probate, and your family will have to go to the court and prove to them that your family. The court hires, you have the family attorney that your family has hired. The court appoints another attorney to look for people that might be related to you that your family's not telling him about. And they all have to go to court and prove they're your family. And then if they can prove they're your family, then the court says, okay, well, Texas says these are the people who get your property. And so if that plan isn't what you want for your family, you can just write a simple will and say, this is who my family is, and this is who should get my house.
Sounds like a much easier process than to put your family through all the heartache and trouble of having to go through proving that they're a family, especially after losing a loved one. You know, that's definitely really difficult.
Hard.
So it's really hard. And so I'd imagine that makes
it makes
much easier to plan.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of ways you can plan to avoid the probate process altogether if you'd like. One of the ways is through a revocable living trust. And so, you know, what that looks like is you create this new legal entity, a trust that is created right now. And so then Dena Musfy, as individual owner of her house, would then be transferring her house to Dena Musfy as trustee of the Musfy Living Trust. And then because the trust owns the property and not you, whoever you named as your successor trustee can automatically act on behalf of the trust to transfer the property to the people that you've named, and you don't even have to go to probate court. So that's a really awesome avenue that, you know, people should know about. Texas also has a transfer on death deed, so you can execute this deed while you're alive, saying who you want your property to go to, and also avoids the probate process. Your heirs just need to file something in the probate, in the real property records. Boom, probate's avoided. So there's lots of avenues that people can find out about to know what to do with their house.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, people don't really think about it a lot when they're, you know, buying a house. That's not definitely the first thing you think about. And I know myself personally, I didn't think about it until I had a child, which we bought a house several years before, you know, we had a child. And I think, you know, even writing a will or any of that kind of stuff. So I think, you know, people that just buy a house, I mean, you should really have a will at any time, just if you own anything, but, you know, much less a home, which is a big purchase. You should definitely protect yourself. What advice would you give people as far as contacting you and getting started? What should they know?
Well, you know, it can be as easy, or, you know, or as customized as you'd like it to be. You know, you can contact me through my website is solaclegal.com. My phone number is 713-588-5744. And to begin the process, you know, we'll have you fill out a simple questionnaire, and then we can either hold the conversation via Zoom or we can meet in person. And you sort of educate me as to your family dynamics, and then I can educate you on the law. And together we can find the right plan that you feel is appropriate for your family. And then a few weeks after that, we'll meet, and you can be signing your plan, and you don't have to think about it for a while. And you can just go enjoy your new home.
Yeah, because I know when I did it, there was definitely some questions there that I was kind of like thrown off that I didn't know. I was like, oh, wait, do I want to, what was the one? I got stumbled on, I think it was if I wanted to be buried or cremated. I was like, I don't know if I want to be cremated or buried. I've never really thought about that. It's kind of morbid, but you know, you have to think about those things because you don't want, if anything, God forbid, happened to you, you don't want your family to be left.
Sure, and some families fight over those things. You know, I've talked to other estate planning attorneys, and those have been some of the biggest fights they've had to deal with. And, you know, then there was money that nobody really, you know, was, oh, you take this and you take that. But, you know, the other thing was the question that really kind of caused a lot of conflict. And, you know, when families are already going through a difficult time, you want to sort of avoid the conflict as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what happens if people fail to plan?
So, yeah, if they fail to plan, you know, what will happen is they will have to go to probate court, and the Texas plan will go into effect. And so